Hello. All right. Whoop. Can you hear my audio in the background? Okay, so after the stream yesterday, I did a bunch of screwing around with the audio settings in OBS, and hopefully my music is like cut out now when I'm not talking, especially. I set a bunch of like thresholds and gain things, so if I'm not talking, it should just be totally quiet. Um, if you want to listen to your own music during this, that would be dope. Dope and tight. Um, as far as the content of today's stream, I think one of the major things that I'm going to be doing is fixing a bunch of shitty stuff that I did. Um, so I'm going to hide everything, and then I'm going to erase everything that's not a figure on this first layer. Actually, I'll erase all the figures, so I'm left with just stuff that's not. I'm going to merge that with the background layer, and then I'm going to take the background layer and I'm going to separate that into two pieces, and those pieces will be the sky and then all the other stuff. I'm even thinking about potentially breaking it up even further just so I can work on it easier. But last stream I noticed that it was kind of getting to be a pain, so I figured I should do this now before stuff starts to get too detailed. And for my music tonight, you shouldn't be able to hear it, but I'm listening to a Spotify Discovery playlist. If you can still hear my music, then I'm gonna fucking explode. Oh, speaking of swearing, my coworker Dan apparently was watching one of my streams with his child, and the first word that I said when they got here was fuck. So that's cool. Good job, Kyle. These kids aren't gonna learn swears on their own. I do feel kind of bad about that, though. I apologized like 6 times today. So I'm gonna have to do the inverse of this layer too, which is take the second copy of it and delete or erase everything that is not a human. So I'm left with only the figure shapes. And then I have to be diligent about making sure I don't fuck it up again. Layers are hard. Okay, so this will be combined with my background layer here. And this thing is a fucking mess. Yeah, shit. Okay. So this is going to be my layer that's just the figures. Everything that I saved last time I'm going in and getting rid of. You don't have to tell me. I know that starting with layer maintenance is the most exciting way to get a stream off the ground. So if you're if you're watching the archive of this, feel free to skip ahead. So you've also noticed, hopefully, that I put the I don't know if you can see it. I put the picture over in the bottom over there. That's what I'm using as a source. As you can see, what I have in my painting is much more yellow, and the colors are not very accurate. A lot of stuff will need to get darker, a lot of stuff will need to get lighter. But I'm working my way there. That's one of the benefits. Like if I separate everything that I plan to separate today, I should be able to improve the colors by using like layer adjustments, which will be nice. I'm gonna get rid of all these splashes and shit. I'll probably add those in as like a foreground layer afterwards. Maybe not tonight, but sometime. I need to take a closer look what's happening with that leg too. It's such a weird stance. I wonder if in the screenshot he's like standing up or something. Like it was on one knee and is lifting himself out of the water. I don't know. Oop. I'm just trying to make this a little bit neater while I'm in here. And then maybe I can even use the alpha lock, which I figured out that one time. Holy cow. Man, they should really add some UI difference that lets you know the alpha lock is engaged. That's something they obviously didn't user test. So I worked on that arm a bunch yesterday. I think I do want to work on the glove a bit more because I didn't really finish that. But I definitely want to do this layer separation stuff first. Ugh. So I saw a tweet today by Ross O'Donovan, Rubber Ross from Game Grumps, Steam Train, and all those thingies, and he was saying that his art stream just got up to 50,000 subscribers or favorites or follows or something, which I have 17 right now. So that would be unimaginable. I can't even imagine having that many people watch me draw. Okay. Got some people, got some backgrounds. Um, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna duplicate this layer now, hide it, take this one, and how do I want to do this is the big question. I'm gonna be erasing stuff, but I think I'm gonna erase stuff that's in the foreground of the background, if that makes sense. The midground. That will let me like fix perspective issues, shit like that. Sorry. Oh, no one's here yet. Okay, good. Now every time I swear, I'm afraid I'm gonna like look up and see Dan in the room. I'm covering his kid's ears. Wouldn't be able to see that, obviously, but. So I used to back a lot of stuff on Kickstarter. I just got a thing today from a game that I backed called Hyper Light Drifter, which I've been looking forward to, but like it suffers from the same thing that I get with a lot of Kickstarter games where you see it for so long that you like kind of get desensitized to it and lose interest. But today they sent out a survey for like delivery. I ended up ordering the new, or the, not new, but ordering the add-on of the soundtrack, which is by Disaster Piece, something like that. I've heard of them before. I think they did, I might be mistaken here. Maybe they did stuff in Sound Shapes. So after I get this stuff separated, I want to start filling in between, like wherever there's characters right now, there's just nothing behind them, which really sucks. I want to start filling in that stuff. I think I'm gonna separate this into a couple planes. Like this will be the midground only. And then I'll have another thing for the tower, which is like the background. And then I'll have another one that's just the sky. Maybe the other one will be this thing in the tower. I don't know though. This is kind of like in front of that. Still figuring it out. Just double check in OBS to make sure. Yeah, it seems like it's working. That'll be exciting. Shit, what do I do? Okay, so this is mid-ground, so I am gonna get rid of this here. I'm the next Bob Ross, huh? Right now I'm just separating layers, so it's not that interesting, but my trees are not happy because they're based on Dark Souls. They're the demon trees. Oops. Yeah, these clouds are decidedly not happy either. Okay. So that's our mid-ground. So turn that one off. I can recopy, see it all together. I got mid-ground. Now I just gotta do like way background and sky. I'm drawing on an iPad Pro right now, which I love. It's fucking dope. But I got fast and loose with my layers and everything ended up on 2. So now I'm trying to re-separate everything so I can actually paint things properly without getting everything all fucked up. Yeah, I really like the iPad Pro. I have a Cintiq also. Wait, what am I doing? Okay. All right, just making sure I'm not getting rid of something I don't have on another layer, because that is definitely something I would do, and then I would cry forever. How is your day going, Zigzag? Ugh. Fuck you, hidden layers. Okay, so in this one, I just need the way back stuff. That will be the tower, and then the little hill thing here. I'm pretty good. I'm just relaxing and streaming. You see any good stuff out there on creative? Or are you looking at gaming stuff too? What you into, man? Cool. I've been drawing every day since the new year, and because I'm doing that, I don't get as much time to watch game streams, which I miss because I really like watching streams. Wait, what the? I still need to get rid of the background on this one. Fucking move. This is very stressful, by the way. I'm super worried that I'm gonna fill in something that I don't have on another layer and just be totally hosed. Okay. This one's. I should probably fucking label these. Rename. Guy. This one. Like. Background. And this one I can get rid of all the sky stuff on. This is. Yeah, that's my biggest thing because I've been doing this whole thing on 2 layers so far. Uh, it's bit me in the ass. Okay, so midground has that shit. Sky. Alright, so I need to get rid of some stuff on this background layer. Yeah, that's my biggest fear right now. I didn't want to do this. Uh, so it's kind of like like watching someone play Dark Souls right now. I could just you died at any minute and have to do undos for a half hour. Gotta fix this tower too. This tower looks jank as fuck. Stress is real. Hmm. Okay. Why is that not? It's like all the way invisible. Alright, this is pretty stressful too, actually. Jesus. Why am I doing this to myself? Ah. It depends on how much I get done every night. I've already been doing it for a little bit. Been spending most of my time on the people, which is why when I shut the not people layers off, everything looks like shit. Um, but yeah, one of my last drawings I did was like total of 10 hours. Here, I can bring it up real quick. It's like this is the last one that I did on here. And this took like 10 hours, and I'm already at like 10 hours on my new one. But I'd like to get the whole Dark Souls one, like this same type of level of quality. It's gonna take a while. I think this one's already at 12 hours, just because there's so much more going on. This is like the most detailed thing I've ever drawn, though. It's bananas. But for big stuff like this, sometimes I'll step away from it for a couple days just to work on something else for a while. And I can feel that urge coming with this one because it's just a lot to think about every day. Yeah, I mean, I think drawing is a lot of it comes from practice. Um, like I don't think I was super great or anything. I still don't think I'm super great, but I think just practicing every day really does a lot. Um, I'm on day 75, 74 so far, and I've been posting every day to like a Tumblr blog. All right, I can actually start doing some real shit today. Okay, so I do want to make this a little bit closer to the image, and I want to take the brightness down. Just a little bit. And then on the sky layer, I'm going to take the saturation down. Make that a little bit darker too. Alright, so now I want to get back into some details on this fool. I want to finish his hand, so I'm going to zoom in on my source photo on my TV. Sure I don't have a fucking gigantic brush. Make sure I'm on the right layer, which I'm not. Okay. But yeah, if you want to learn how to draw, I'd say just there's a really good YouTube channel called Proko, and a lot of what I've been doing is figure drawing. I just started doing this like fan art stuff not too long ago, just because I wanted some variety. But Proko has like a lot of really good lessons on YouTube that teach you like the basics and like what to look for and things. If you're interested in learning how to draw, I think that's a really good place to start. It gets less stressful over time. unless you're ripping apart all your layers and at risk of losing everything. It can be kind of relaxing too, actually, if you are just doing like figure drawing and stuff, because it's just taking what you see and just kind of quickly throwing it down onto a page without thinking too much. Oh shit! Without thinking too much. Drawing on Twitch is a little bit more stressful though, because everything you fuck up is visible to everyone that wants to see it. Yeah, it kind of always feels like that. Like I have my channel up in the background and I can like see if someone comes in or goes or whatever. It's just kind of like something you're like, oh, all right. And then there's like a couple times when like a coworker of mine or something will come in. Like this happened yesterday. The first, like I guess a coworker was watching with his kid. I told this story earlier, but he came in and the first thing I said was fuck, and he was watching it with his like 10-year-old. Whoops. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend starting to draw on Twitch. Twitch is definitely something that you do after a little bit, if at all. Like my girlfriend generally draws at the same time as me over here, but she doesn't want to do it on Twitch. Just like a whole new level of shit that you're putting yourself up for. So there can be some real creepos. It didn't come through on Chatty. Honestly, I don't get a ton of traffic. Like, so a lot of the people that have come in have either been like pretty cool, like you, or just like either people I know or just random normal people. I haven't really met any super creepos. I've heard stories though from other people that I watch. I was watching Dark Soulmates. Strippin and Dodger were doing a stream together playing Dark Souls. I watch a lot of Dark Souls streams. Uh, but they were talking about like when they were streaming like early on, there was some person that saw one of Dodger's Instagram photos and it had a like a street sign in the background and some dude bought a plane ticket and like found their hotel and was like, "Oh, I'm downstairs. You can come meet me now." Finally, like super weird. If that kind of stuff happened, that would probably just put me off streaming forever. That's probably like the weirdest thing I've heard happen. That didn't happen to me, thankfully. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. That's like their living too. Like they like stream and are personalities for a living. And knowing that like an innocuous photo could like expose where you are or like cause like a crazy person to come after you, terrifying. And there's all this stuff with people getting like what's it called, swatted. That shit sucks. But I've been into like a couple of creative streams and people generally seem pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know what the like the draw of that is. I've heard like people going to jail over it and stuff. Like the people that said the SWAT set it up. Like, and is it worth it just to maybe see something funny for like a second? I would say no. They're like really hitting hard on people that do that now. I think most reasonable people would. I bet a lot of times when it happens, it's like really young people that don't have an idea about consequences or something. I don't know, maybe normal people do it too, but they hear about it on the news and they're like, "Oh, that'd be hilarious." Then when they're going to jail for 5 years, they probably think it's less funny. No, not very smart at all. So do you play games too? You mentioned that you were going around to different types of streams. Any interest in stuff going on at GDC this year? Just started today. I'm pretty interested in seeing what comes out of the VR stuff. It's all been so expensive though. Pick up the color. GDC is the Game Developers Conference. I only know about it really because it's in San Francisco and I live nearby. But they announce a bunch of like stuff from upcoming year, and I guess tomorrow PlayStation has a big thing about their VR stuff. And I'm really into VR. I went to PAX this year, or not PAX, PlayStation Experience. Sorry, I went to PAX a couple years ago. Um, but at PlayStation Experience, I got to mess around with the Morpheus or PlayStation VR now, I guess it's called. And that was really cool. I played a game called Nog, which is kind of like a puzzle game. It was like one of the only ones that you didn't have to wait in like a crazy long line for. But it really impressed me. I'm super interested in VR. Yeah, going to gaming events are always really cool. I've only been to a couple, but every time I do go to one, it's been really good. If you're at all into PlayStation, the PlayStation Experience one is like pretty awesome because it's still fairly small, but you can play a lot of games and stuff without the crowds being too huge. I used to go to Comic Con quite a bit, but that just got so crowded I can't deal with it anymore. PAX is really fun though. If you ever have a chance to go to Seattle, PAX is really, really fun. Yeah, crowds are tough for me too. I'm lucky that like living in California, a lot of these things are like pretty close by, so like monetarily it doesn't get too crazy. The PlayStation one was just like a train away, which was great. But I did go to Seattle, which is admittedly a pretty short plane flight. Maybe someday, man. They're really cool. I think actually like if you're super into games, like the experience of watching them online is probably almost better just because you can see kind of everything happening all at once. Because when you're there, you miss out on a lot of stuff, and you have to like go basically do what everyone else does and check online afterwards anyway. Yeah, plane tickets are so expensive now too. It's crazy. I haven't seen too much of that. I used to be into the older Rainbow Six games, but I haven't. I got at a PC stuff for a while because I couldn't afford to keep up on a new gaming PC very often. Now I mostly do consoles, but is Rainbow Six Siege pretty good? Pretty cool? I'm looking forward to Overwatch too. I haven't played shooters really in a while. Used to be big into Destiny and I used to play a lot of Call of Duty. But Overwatch looks really fun. That's always fun. I always have the best time with games when I have some friends playing with me. That's why I used to be into Destiny for a very long time, like a year plus 2 years maybe. Not 2 years. It's only been out for about a year and a half. But like from launch, a bunch of people that I work with and I used to play together. And that made a huge difference. Like whenever they weren't on, I found myself like not really into it nearly as much. I just think the character design on a lot of Blizzard stuff is just so good. Overwatch's characters all look awesome. I didn't get to play any of the betas though. Kind of wish I had. And then you've probably gathered, but I'm also a Dark Souls fan. That's coming out on April 11th. I'm pretty excited about that. Mm. Yeah, Dark Souls definitely takes a certain mindset to get into. Pretty punishing. All right. Welcome back. It's 10 p.m. right now. Just hit 10, 10:09. What about you? So you're on the East Coast, Eastern time anyway. Um, Tonight or in general? Tonight, I think I started maybe about an hour ago. I generally don't stream for a super long time. I'm probably gonna be calling it quits in a couple minutes. I usually go for about an hour to 2 hours, but I've been hitting some audio issues the past couple days, so I've been trying to solve those. I think I got them pretty much figured out tonight, though. All of my archives were getting muted like crazy because my music was like bleeding through. Yeah, I have it set so there's like a threshold and it just like mutes it entirely afterwards. Before my music was coming through like softly all the whole time. and like I'd go back and my archives are just like big long sections of nothing because Twitch hates music. Well, I think that's about it for tonight. I think doing all those layers took a lot out of me, making sure those are working. Um, Thanks for hanging out though, Zigzag. I stream every night at around the same time, so if you're ever up late again, come give me a watch. It's good talking with you. Good night.